I said, AWS is not I said, my CRO now gets on his like QBRs and says, no, I don't expect source business from AWS. And he's like, I need more of you. And I was like, look, you're not a channel, you're not a this, you're not a that. And he's like, I know, that's where partners get it wrong. He said, I wish more partners are like you guys. And I said, it's not perfect, but I have to explain to them. He likes my analogy, right? I said, this is Hunger Games. Like, this is season 4 of
This is
Hunger Games.
this
And
is
he's
a
like,
new analogy. I haven't heard this.
I
I
know.
haven't heard the
Oh, you
Hunger
haven't heard
Games.
this one?
No, no, I
I've
haven't
been
heard that.
calling I've been calling AWS. I have two analogies for you, by the way. The other one I stole, and I'm gonna owe someone like a bunch of I'll put it on camera. But the first is in the Hunger Games book and movie. I never read the books, but there's the game maker, right? Like
Yeah.
this is the game. And the rules are constructed by the game maker. And so me as a partner, I'm not capable of rewriting. I can't tell the game maker, I don't like these rules. I don't want to play. This is the game. These are the rules. And then as you fast forward to every movie, right? It's like, oh, this is the next season of the Hunger Games. And every year there's new rules. And we are
That's
in
good.
this evolution of the Hunger Games with cloud partners and AWS. And every year the rules kind of change. And this year there's less people to manage as many or more partners. And the technology, they're going to be all in with agents and agentic and AI. And so you're seeing that. And the company as a whole had to invest in infrastructure and agentic forward. And so in replace of that is you can't have as many people.
Yeah.
Like you're a public company, dollars and cents, your margins are in clear text. You needed to spend 200 whatever $billion of capital. Sure, I guess you could take a loan, but truth is like, yeah, you got to people, right? And now maybe the agent can do a lot of the work of people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy times. Anyhow, Hunger Games. Yes.
Hunger Games.
So,
What's the second one?
second one. I will not disclose who told me this, but I was like, holy shit, that is the best analogy I've ever heard. And he said, partnering with Amazon is kind of like partnering with the internet. And I was like, he said, as a company, you know you need to do it,
Yeah.
but how do you partner with the internet? And what do you expect back in return for partnering with the internet? And so then I've been taking it a little bit further, which is, well, really, me as a partner representing Kong is I'm trying to figure out how to do SEO, search engine optimization. So the truth is, well, what does partnering with the internet mean? Oh, well, I probably need a website. It needs to say maybe who we are, what we do. But if you think about it, those search engines and the crawlers are crawling for words. Now AI is crawling it for data.
Yeah.
So if I had to think about, well, if now I'm partnering with the internet, let's say the internet is AWS, like I don't really expect anything in return from the internet. It doesn't work that way. But I know I need to do it. But I can't promise you what I'm going to get in return. Maybe I get some visibility. You're right. Maybe someone fills out a web form. In this case, maybe someone comes to my marketplace listing, like this morning. I see it every day, signs up for our PLG, our free trial, right, through the marketplace. Oh, very cool. That's fun to see. But what do you get back in return? How do you put a forecast? How do you measure this stuff? What's the real thing? But now I'm starting to unpack this where, hey, there's all these agents. Hey, there's less people. Hey, there's SEO to agentic. Oh man, there's, the things, partner matching engine, agentic this. Cool. What corpus of data are they looking at about Kong?
Yeah.
So now I'm reverse engineering, like, hey, if I'm an AWS employee and I'm using Quick every day and I'm asking it questions or I'm looking at the data, cool, what are all of its connectors? Forget skills, but what is it connecting to? So I'm thinking through AWS and the partnership, and I'm trying to reverse engineer where is it getting its data? And then what do the sales reps do? What are the SAs doing? What are the PSAs doing? What is that corpus of data that if I want going to show up as the top listings for these things, just like SEO, what does the data have to say? Where does it have to be? What are the keywords? The same thing. So I've been
What's the
thinking through
priority?
the
Yeah.
analogy of that. I was like, yeah, that actually is a little bit of a fair analogy. You're right. Like I start a business. One of the first things I do? I go get a domain. I go register the website. I write it about me. Maybe it's e-commerce. That's PLG. Like it actually works really well. And then I'm like, oh man, well now like agents and search, this internal search is, I may not come up in the right things, the right scoreboards, the right scoring. So it goes back into, all right, well, if you want to be a partner, if you want to be a top partner, this is the stuff that you have to do. No, P2B and partner, that data doesn't mean as much or almost anything to me. Now, I sell it internally different because I have an agenda. But if someone tells me, oh, their P2B was high or their engagement score is high, you know what that really means.
They
It
bought
means they
some.
buy shit through the marketplace.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you really think my sales team or my executives care if someone bought something through the marketplace? No, zero. But there's some hidden signals through that. Why would a company buy through the marketplace? They probably have a PPA, right? Or before an EDP. Why would they do that? Well, because if I have a PPA, there's only two ways that I get to use that commitment. I buy AWS native services, or I buy solutions through the marketplace that are built on AWS. That's it. So I look at this stuff, my analogy of the credit card, and I'm staring at a Starbucks over here.
Yeah.
I have a prepaid Amazon gift card. I can't go to Nordstrom's and buy clothes with my prepaid Amazon gift card. No, you go to Amazon and you can buy things on Amazon. So if I'm a merchant and I don't sell through Amazon, it doesn't mean it just means that I can't use that prepaid gift card through that channel. This stuff is not rocket science. It's just, but internally, I
Yeah.
have to explain to my sales team, this signal means, well, what does it probably mean? Well, it probably means the customer has a commit. Probably means that the customer already buys other things through AWS, which means it validates that they have AWS infrastructure. We don't even need to, I know the data before we know the company, because I get that account data before I even have opportunities in an account. Then, well, what else? Well, let's just assume that AWS account manager knows more about that company than we do. Can we safely assume that? Can we safely assume they probably have friends or champions at that account? And we don't, because it's not even a prospect of ours. We may not even have an opportunity there. Or if we do, maybe it's early stage. So I'm trying to convince our company to want to co-sell, to lean into the partnership, to permit me to just share this thing over there. But what they want, that introduction and the stage one opportunity. Yeah. I'm like, that's not how it works, and we haven't earned the right to do that. Here's how I explain it as well to my own company. Why would a referral partner or reseller go do that immediately? So the AWS rep's like, I just said nice things about you guys.
Yeah.
Even better, an SA does it. SAs aren't in Salesforce. They're not even, they would have to then go tell the account manager, none of that's going to happen. But the most powerful recommendation is from an SA. So then so how I explain it is, okay, well, think about a VAR. A VAR is going to register the deal immediately. Why? Because they're blocking out any other VAR from registering that. Oh, these guys might need Kong. Cool, I'm going to go register it with Kong. But then newsflash, they're going to register it with two of my competitors too, right? Because they're partnered with everyone. Second, they get margin or discount.
Yeah.
They're personally incentivized. Think of the behavior of a sales rep at a bar. Do you know how some of them get paid? Do you know how they get paid? Read the comp plan of a reseller. What is it that they get paid off of?
Margin,
GP,
and a number as well, normally. Yeah.
Gross profit.
Yeah.
Margin. That's literally how they make their living, pay for their food on the table, kids' clothing is on GP, on gross profit. Of course they're going to register the deal. Of course, that's how they get paid. That's how they keep a job. That's how they put food on the table. And there's a bunch of bars that all partner with different companies. So they're all going to get their first block out. So they're incentivized to do that. Let's reverse that with AWS. Does AWS have any goals for AOs or for calling AOs? No. Does that rep get paid margin, revenue, anything? No. Okay, my SIs, well, some of them don't even care about the referral. They just want all the services. They want to turn all the wrenches behind that. Okay, well, does AWS have a practice? Do they have professional services that implement our technology? No, there's no dollars there either. And if there were, then the sales team probably couldn't resell it. So it's not insignificant. Okay, so then Marketplace. Is Marketplace AWS customer's decision? Is AWS decision customer's decision or Kong's decision? Customer's decision.
Yeah.
So if I'm a sales rep at AWS, I still don't have any guarantees that I'm going to get paid on that because it's ultimately the customer's decision. I can educate them. Maybe we can throw some credits or something like tactics. But man, if they have a $1 million PPA and they're spending $1.2 million a year, maybe they just don't. They're like, I don't see the benefit right now.
But I also think it's the level of people that are out there that don't get it. And they get it for, they get sometimes the basic, the interaction with the ISV and the hyperscaler and a little bit about customer, but they don't get that next level. And a lot of the time it's about the having been a salesperson, having been engaged in pre-sales, they just don't join up the dots. Does that make sense? So it's very
Mhm.
much, oh yes, I'm just doing A and B. And as we've talked about in the past, we understand the whole business. You need to understand the whole business to be able to actually play, not only play the rules of Hunger Games, but also play the rules internally within the company that you're either
Yeah.
working for, contracting
Oh,
with, whatever. So,
I
and
think that's what
that's,
I was describing when I said just the first 9 months of figuring out the people, the politics, power structure, how decisions are made. I always look like who's running the business. Is it the CEO, the CRO, the CFO? Like who's got more? It's all in harmony. Then board. I've seen boards run companies. I've seen boards be pretty out of the company, like all kinds of things. Very different,
yeah.
you
And I
know?
think that's a key thing, right? That's a key thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of funny. Again, it's just like an interesting, and there's a lot of companies. I think you and I, we should just at some point, what are the metrics that matter? What are the right metrics? I know what I've gravitated to lately is I'm linking co-sell to win rate and deal size. I've tried to link co-sell to like speed, like deal progression. It's
Yeah.
just sales forces are too dirty. My sales team is too smart. They open and close deals, they move things around in stages. They're just too crafty. So
Mm.
the data, you could throw out outliers or it just, I don't,
Yeah.
I can't get to a good. But right now I can see that where we're co-selling, our win rates are higher. But the baffling thing to me is that if I show the data, I always say, argue with me all you want. It's really hard to argue with the data. But
Mm.
I can show my sales team the data. And I don't know if they don't believe me or what, but I would see that data and go, wait, you're telling me that by talking to AWS and having them share data and help influence an opportunity, like my win rate almost doubles? I would come running with my pipeline.
No, you've missed. So I
I'm
I
missing
wouldn't
something.
expect that. Yeah. So it's ego because
Why?
basically I'm saying you're saying to me that this win isn't down to me completely. It's actually I'm giving power away to someone, and that company, that entity, that partner is actually taking over and accelerating the opportunity. So there has to be a spin on it that this is all down to you. Get a sales guy. This is all down to you, leveraging all your tools. You
Yeah,
found the
that's my
tool.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But some reps are like, no, 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 no. Yeah.
But this is my point. The 20% or 10% in the company that are the best reps, all they are, I always say, forget the game maker. It's the other game I like to talk about is chess. Like
Mm.
the best salespeople I've ever seen, they're not great. They don't have to be great chess players, but the game of sales they're playing is like chess.
Yeah.
There's pawns, there's a rook,
Mm.
there's a queen, there's knights. Each player moves differently. So when I'm building that strategic deal, why'd I move the pawn? Why'd I do this? They're using the entire company at the right time, at the right place to go
Win.
win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just one of those. I always say, like you're the sales rep. You got this. God, I'm the analogy king. You got this tool belt on, right? In the tool belt, there's a hammer, a screwdriver, a wrench. I'm just another tool. Like, dude, you're the handyman. I'm just this tool right here, and this tool, there's a bunch of things that it can do. I
Yeah.
can use credits to help you accelerate, help you with why now, help you with timing, manufacturing timing. We can use co-sell to do this. We can do that. Again, you can lay that into MedPick, and I can start filling in decision criteria and I can start playing that game too. But at the end of the day, like either you're playing chess or you're a handyman. You got, when to use the screwdriver versus the hammer. Like, yeah, they have different purposes. So if I need to
Maybe.
go build the house, like I need all these tools to build the house, but like, when's the right time and what do I use this and that for? Because the sales rep at the end of the day sees me as a resource and they're going to use me. And
Mm.
that's what I'm offering. Yeah, use me. I'm the screwdriver. But this is
No,
what the
you're
screwdriver
not.
does is when you need it.
You're the electric screwdriver, and that's the whole
Oh,
thing, right?
even better. Yeah.
So
But
you're the one thing that can speed up like certain parts of building that house with the electric screwdriver. So
sure.
that's ultimately
Yeah.
what you're doing. You've got
Yeah.
your manual tools, but by the way,
Yeah.
one part, the paper process, procurement, this is the electric screwdriver.
Like that's to Ruben, that's the number one signal. Marketplace growth year over year.
Yeah, I've got a potential
And spend,
contract. Yeah,
consumption, that kind of bullshit too.
I've got a
But I don't
potential
see that stuff
I've got a potential customer who literally wants to go from 25 million to 100 million by the end of this year through
in
Marketplace.
spend or marketplace. Yeah.
Through Marketplace. Yeah.
So they already have that revenue volume.
Yeah, but they haven't even switched on co-sell. They're just, yeah.
But why would they like now I'm curious. Why would they want to do that? Why do they want to do that?
It's a good question. I have a follow-up call on Thursday.
Yeah. I love hearing that. And I always say, dude, that's great. Why? 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 Because what I find out is they
Yeah.
like, look, if they start to link that we want to do that because we think we're going to get more from them, I'm like, you may not. Like that, that's the bet. You will get visibility. You might get more awareness. This is the currency to go, like PAL currency to go get more things, but it's not, there isn't a give and get lever that you pull. If I do this, then I get that. These are not, it
But
doesn't work that way.
so from my perspective, depending on I don't know their numbers, they haven't I've got to sign an
Yeah.
NDA. But if I have a look at, let's say, I don't know how much money they're actually generating right now. If
Yeah.
they want to put it through the marketplace and they're very much a partner-driven business,
Yeah.
then the average margin for channel most definitely is around 15 points. So if
I
I
give
can
30, 20 to 30.
20 to
Yeah.
30. So if I can reduce that, and if I've got a mindset of, okay, well, we're going to double down on AWS
I always
Marketplace,
say it's the cheapest channel.
there we are.
If you want to
So,
treat them, if you want to treat it like a channel, newsflash, it's the cheapest channel. Co-sell is free. Marketplace is 3%.
yeah. So,
And if you want to include a DISD or a CPPO, another 0.5%. I mean, like, it's not a lot. It's not like it's double taxes, but it's not that much. And the
yeah.
facilities exist to make everyone happy.
So let's say it's 5%, versus 15 plus points. So
Yeah.
you can save at least 10, if not 10, 15 points on flipping a switch. So that would be my logic to it anyway.